There are so many social media threats. I remember sometimes back there was an audio circulates on social media saying on the 19th, people are going to come out, or all sort of that, and we'll see the 19th pass with a lot of awareness message from the security sector. And we see, you get to overcome that, and everybody go about a normal business, despite there were some few people decide for stay back, and still issues around social media messaging, still they float on social media about negative things, and that they probably tend for cause problem for the security sector. Where are we in terms of security and awareness raising on social media issues?
Thank you very much, Brother Remy. What I will get for saying are not going to be new. I should say most of our people are familiar with them. However, some thinking they find for how they repeat yourself, because it appear like say forgetfulness are part of human nature. And so the more we continue to remind people them, the better it is for the security of the country. It appear like say some people they don't forget so soon that the peace they currently enjoy. Now one will come with a heavy cost. Some people they lost money, they lost property, they're not able to recover ever again. Some people they even lost part of their body. Some people then die. Organizations across the world make frantic efforts to ensure say we get peace after war. The trend where they happen currently in our social media, they get the tendency, they get the potential for reverse all of the gains that we don't made over the period. And so the need for law we speak against them kind practice here. Now one way we're not going to overemphasize. Let us start with the positives on social media. The social media platform, now one of the best things we don't happen now the communications world. With social media, you can reach to a large number of people within a very short period. And with social media, you're able to cater for all of the demographics. Whether a person will go school or person will not go school. And you get various options how you go for send information. Either you want to write more to text, or you want to do an audio or even video. So it makes communications easy. And so not only the platform not the problem. Now the content creators, the people where they put information on social media. Social media ordinarily is supposed to be a blessing. In which case, not a curse, because we don't see persistently, especially in the last 5 years, some people, sadly, some Sierra Leoneans where they are abroad, don't devote all of the efforts just for ensure say they use social media for foment problems in society. And then they do so, I shall say, for a reason. Sadly, again, even though people are supposed for don't know say then people only use them platforms here. Now lie no more than a pedal. Now just no more for further their own nest. Now just no more for their own selfish interest. But still then they follow them people and they. If somebody don't like by you one time, don't like by you two time. I don't think say you for be weak again enough for allow for lie by you the third time. Because if I ask them for like clarify the backlog of the lies so we don't pedal. So but for we resilience and for we commitment, especially so we do not provided with a platform for now reach out to people across the world, to people within Sierra Leone. Social media for don't derail all of the efforts we don't make over the period as a country for day in the way how we day so. Before the elections, the security sector been do a national threat assessment for identify waiting are the spoilers, waiting will be the team that will go hamburging the peaceful conduct of the elections. And one of the things that will stand out very prominently that the misuse of social media. And even as we speak, Nadal they continue to be the case. Social media don't become the platform where people and the peddle lies, misinformation, disinformation, propaganda, the use of invectives, hate speech, tribal division, slurs, and all of the negative things that they think about. Much to the extent that they make life very difficult for other people away decent in society. We want to go about the normal business. And the overall effect now that it give the impression to especially younger generations for do bad things, not the right thing for do, not the right way for go. Because the Saloe I know, the concept that people don't introduce on social media now one way alien to Sierra Leone. Now that's the reason as a sector, the leadership don't be committed for continue to engage the public on the need for let them identify and realize say what they happen so not good for security. What they happen so not good for the well-being of Sierra Leone. It's not good for we picking them. And so moral guarantors, religious leaders, they get for make frantic efforts for talk against anything them and actually take practical steps to stop them. How we could do so? One of them, not for be somebody who they fertilize the spread of information. The people who they spread, do them bad or do them. Now send them, say now. Most of them not in a salon. If they send on a platform, say you not share them, they stop there. You don't go get effects. Now only way you sell something and people go buy them. But we see that people in country, they in a platform, social people in the send mamikos, lie information, think the way they spread fear among members of the public. Then they share them with joy. For me, that he had for understand. But we don't go relent. Quite recently, and we consoled by that. The two main political parties, particularly the government of Sierra Leone and the All People's Congress, sign up to a communique for show their commitment for denounce the misuse of social media and their willingness for help the structures for fight against this menace. Because if you resolve social media today, they don't resolve most of the problems that they face across the country. Because like I say, now the platform these people they use with joy for misinform the public, for spread fear among members of the public, go create panic. So tomorrow somebody go tell you, say, oh, they come out. Next tomorrow they come out. This time stay at home. Not do this and that kind of thing. They ask people for stay at home. You know, they're nothing for provide them as an alternative in terms of supporting that possibility. Most families in a salon, now one on a daily basis and they fend for their living. If all of the time they tell them, say they stay at home, it creates fear, it creates panic, then you are doing a disservice unto them people and they're not to statesmanship, not to somebody we royal to in country go behave that kind of way. Now patriotic behavior. So we continue for jog people a memory to Sierra Leoneans particular where they are. That in as much as we use this soft policing approach, let them also forget say there are laws where they guide them kind of behavior. I mean the ground norm when at the Constitution of Sierra Leone 1991. It recognized various rights or various freedoms. But in no talk say, them freedoms and they're limitless. To every rights, to every freedoms, we get corresponding responsibilities. Sadly, and one thing we also jog the memory of we moral guarantors, including civil society organizations, that when they get platforms, society for talk to people, let them not only remind them or emphasize on their rights, let them also bring the responsibilities onto them. Because at the end of the day, the state gets a responsibility to protect everybody. If somebody they just emphasize on a right, if they use that platform for free speech, for cause people, for spread lies, for send threats, for orchestrate on manufacture, lighting them, and you expect say the law not for taking cause because according to them, or maybe in your own thinking, now freedom of expression. Therefore, no say freedom of expression, not to the use of invectives, in order to be protected by law. Your freedom of expression for be limited onto doing things the way correct. If you do things the way incorrect, mostly you say that they jeopardize national security. If you no say that one day the law not they protect them, the law will take a rightful cause. What will they do so? Therefore, continue to engage the public. Say to be forewarned is to be forearmed. They give adequate information. So that if you now choose to take a different path, you are actually erring on your own, not because you not get information. So people, the way they receive information, and then groupings them, they share them. No say by the cyber security and information law, you commit the same offense like the person who author them originally. We don't dey talk about this, like I say. Some thinking they, a fine for law, they repeat yourself. Sometimes some people will not be here. Oh, talking last year, they will get the opportunity now for here. Or some people will be here, but they don't forget. We they repeat them again for let them understand. We, as a sector, the leadership committed for ensuring they provide the enabling environment. We say everybody they go about a normal business without let or hindrance. And in doing so, we they follow due process for ensuring anybody will err from that one day, they go face the wrong thing. And they get for rethink that kind of way they. Unfortunately, in we case, most of we brothers and sisters, where they abroad, we call themselves Sierra Leoneans. And then they send them bad information onto members of the public, much to the extent that they give the impression to the rest of the world that that lie the way they don't cook up, that lie the way they send about Sierra Leone, not the reality, when the fact is not so it be. Then they present a gloomy picture of Sierra Leone. Where sometimes in the UAE in a salon, if somebody talk to you from overseas and tell you about the things that already happen at salon, you're going to be shocked. Because in a salon where me dey, and somebody they tell me about this, like salon they on fire, salon they on this, salon they on tenterhooks and that kind of thing. It's wrong. We get for speak against that kind of thing. And then one day we get responsibility for talk about that thing. They're not for cherry pick. If you be across the board, if you misuse social media, they for call you out. If the law for fall on you, you for be treated as an individual, and nobody know for consent begin for give the impression say, oh, this kind of big person, this person belong to this kind grouping and that kind of thing. Because wrong is wrong. You don't get color, you don't get name. When a person do wrong things and the law come after you, it is you, it is your action that is being corrected. You know for be given a color. So we feel very much comfortable that the two political parties, I should say, all of the other political parties, they support that one 100%. Shortly after that communique, the National Security Coordinator, now the Office of National Security, Mr. Abdullah Kolka, in collaboration with his colleagues in the security sector, the IGP, the Inspector General of Police, Mr. William Fayaselo, the Chief of Defense Staff, Lieutenant General P.K. Lavau, they call the political parties to a meeting. First, for telling thank you that they consider for do this communique and for pledge their commitment for support them for implement the provisions we contained in that communique. Sadly, after the signing of that communique, the outburst on social media don't even become doubled than it be before they sign the communique. So it should be our collective responsibility for say no to this kind of behavior, because this is alien to Sierra Leone. It's not good for Sierra Leone. It's not good for the future of Sierra Leone. It's not good for Sierra Leone now, because this should not be accepted anywhere in the whole world, including Sierra Leone. As a country, we determination now for be how for forge ahead, consolidates all of the gains that we made over the period. I mean, we are one of the countries we don't come out from war. 20 years down the line, thereabout, we don't get any signs of a visible violence, except for the activities of some people who are badly, illy informed about Sierra Leone. They sit down at the cozy environments abroad, and then they concoct stories sent on our social media. We wait in here, we for realize, say, one, if anything happen here, we wrong, now we will be directly impacted. Then people where they overseas, where they send una and give una directives for let una do things away to hamburging the peace and security of the country. They know they do well for una, and they know they do them because they even get una at heart. Then they do them because they want to use the outcomes of their events and what they call for score cheap ideological points. We not for allow somebody for use we as chess, as pawn in the chess game. We not for allow somebody for call we for go take bangana fire. When we don't bare fingers that they use. You where they accept or follow the directives of people where they overseas or where they talk to you in the background for let you go do wrong things. No say where the law come after you, you will be treated as an individual, not as a member of any grouping. The
day of awareness season seems for the camp small. You know, even though there are still challenges with regards to that, and you mentioned the two main political parties, SLP and APC, been signing a communique where everybody, you know, both international and local, you know, be very happy because mostly people tend to accuse the two main political parties of inciting issues around violence, you know, at the country. But when people see them come together, it was such a very good move. You know, and if you listen to social media, you see when young people, they denounce violence, they tell you, say, you know, this time anybody want for push to violence as young people, we know they come out. You can join me or you couch you begin lead the protest. We don't see the awareness is, you know, they come back then. You know, when social media audio circulated, say, let young people in Comado for cause violence. We know they see that kind of video, they come back for go against, then call it, but now we don't see them. It tells you, say, there are some level of awareness now moving forward.
Sure.
And we know the 19, then we say people come out, people are not come out. And the rest of the day, to the next day, we see every side very calm. Even in November 26, people call people for come out, people don't come out. The level of awareness don't come, but I will for intensify awareness raising, people for understand now your responsibility for protect your country. The security sector is there, but as a citizen, you still get a pivotal for play for the country for secure, because for every day we sit at home, the country they lost a lot of cash. Even yourself, we forget you day to day, you know they get them.
Exactly. I quite agree. They say once bitten, twice shy. Sierra Leoneans and people who they learn, not just at a few other people, they make every effort for let people they unlearn the thing the way they actually supposed to know about. Yes, indeed. After August 2022, August 10th specifically, several other efforts don't be made by the same set of people using the same means for call on people and for can do things the way they jeopardize the peace of individuals and the peace of the country. But people they don't denounce that one day. We want to encourage the public for letting continue in this trajectory. Then for don't learn, say, then people already call them so, then they do so for selfish reasons. I mean, after the August 8, 9, and 10, I can always make reference to that day. We all see waiting about the reaction. The same people over they call people into harm's way. Now then come see there again, say, no, I've not been calling for let you go burn government property. Where the records and they say, now that you call for. I've not been calling for let you go kill security officer. Where records they for saying now that you call for clearly. So people are there for land down and they even go to the extent they talk, say, we're ready for support the government for let them pursue anybody who do things the way wrong. So waiting down for ring that bell. For say this not just mischief, not just a miscreant. And somebody when they even behave in a way where somebody for question in level of ability for think beyond the ordinary. So with doff we had to people them way don't able for learn from this one. Otherwise, after August 10th, 2022, they don't make several attempts, including several attempts in 2023, including the November 26th. If people let me they jump into action based on then thing they come up from social media, if I don't get maybe a different scenario altogether after or during the November 2023 event. After that, they don't make several other calls. But what would they emphasize? Now that we get for really make them people here completely irrelevant because they're not relevant. They're not really relevant. If somebody they call you for go do harm against your own country, I mean nobody know it for become a forensic scientist or forensic expert for say this person not a better person, not a person who mean well for me. You for just discard that person there. The point when we continue for make now that even though yes, people they don't denounce, you know they go now and go begin for take part into dangerous things. For them they also equally trust the security sector. If somebody tell you say sit down at your house, if you come out tomorrow, we'll go loot your shop, we'll go do this, we'll kill you if you're a bike rider, and you actually sit down at house, you know can't do, then it means if they allow that person there for defeat you, and they defeat the purpose. The interest now where they don't get. Now, for instance, when they call on people they don't come out, they sit at home. They actually stay at home, so that it will appear like saying they cripple the economy. Now we in here now for saying no. I mean, if you ask me for Sidona house, what do you get for offer? Nothing. You don't get anything for offer. All what you have to do now that you want to project yourself negatively do. At the end of the day, get that money. Now other people in hand or suspecting people already abroad and appear like say what you do now in the interest of the country. We also need to identify, say, in the midst of all of them miscreants here, where they send bad information from people by people away there abroad, we get other one that we equally there abroad, they counter them. For call on them, let them continue for intensify on the efforts. Let them reach out to them people and they for say wetin una dey do so, this kind pattern una take so, it gets dangerous implications. Not only for now, but even in the future. Because if you make the policy or the pattern for behave in this way, and expect say in the future some other person no go behave that kind of way, you dey make a sad mistake. Because people in the copy copiously. Now that kind thing they will not want for we pikin and inculcate. Because we pikin and we born, salon we mi sabi, now one way get respect, mainly for women, respect for elders, respect for religious people, respect for morality. Let we not allow a few people, because of their upbringing, bad upbringing, for derail their morals and day. Salon a country where united. Ordinarily, most people, in fact, the best of friends are people who come out from the opposite tribe or people who come out from the opposite region. Let we continue in that trajectory. These are virtues were very unique to Sierra Leone. We level of tolerance it is beyond human imagination, religious-wise, in terms of regional interaction, in terms of tribal association. Why we for allow them fine things and they will don't develop over the period. When we grandparents don't pass through, we can't allow for go down the drains because of one foolish or few foolish people, their selfish interest. Let we not allow that one day. For remind the public that as a sector we remain in charge and will continue to provide the enabling environment for every well-meaning Sierra Leonean. As long as you deal within the provisions of the law, not afraid anything go about and do your normal business. Because like we don't provide assurance, we will continue for provide assurance alongside engaging the public. Because we know say that their efforts people and they make for distort people and thinking. Now one way they do so, taking advantage of the platforms who say they belong with them people and they. Now that make all of the time they use different methods for reach out to members of the public. Whether now the use of a mainstream media like how we there, so the use of a social media or even the use of non-conventional means for get onto people them. Before August 19, the security sector leadership, all of them, been they up and about now the whole of the western areas, urban and rural, for talk to people and physically in their homes, now the marketplaces, for tell them say, come this day, go about your normal business and not fall for the trap where people want for settle into. We thank God that people in the gradually, they in sync with this kind message they give them. For sure they say, we continue in that light, we will continue for provide the enabling environment, they can say, who said they're going for do all of what they're supposed to do within the provisions of the law. Just avoid lawlessness and indiscipline. Go and do the right thing. You are protected by law. Wait till they do so now for Sierra Leoneans now, Sierra Leoneans tomorrow, and Sierra Leoneans in the future. Yes, I want to look at the implications generally where the misuse of social media gets. But even before I say so, some of our brothers and sisters where they overseas, where they misuse social media, thinking say because they far away from the country, the law now will charge them, and therefore reconsider that kind of thinking there. Because it will be slow, it will be painful, but impossible for reach out to that kind set of people anyway they misuse social media. We will partner with the countries and we get a relationship with for bringing that kind realities here to their attention. The misuse of social media get far-reaching implications at both the individual level and national level. One thing way the misuse of social media they do for cause irreversible, if you like, reputational damage to not only the country but even individual them. Much to the extent that it is scare away investors and it even drive the one way don't invest at the country. And when that happen, it gets multiple effects. It will mean say people who need jobs will struggle for get jobs because when private sector investments boom in the country, 9 jobs a day for people who want them jobs a day. It drive or send panic or fear into the minds of people. And this also gets health implications. Where all of the time people they send them dangerous messages them. Knowing very well say and lie and they lie. Some people are not able for manage information and get the tendency for believe and sometimes they create a lot of problems for them. Clearly now a catalyst for insecurity. Where you misuse social media, you don't set the stage for let confusion in a country, for let misinformation dey, for let people and take actions we lawless. Above all, it foster the spread of disinformation, misinformation, propaganda, and overall, it is sow a seed of discord among people we supposed for love and day together. So it abog national cohesion, it abog national unity. Again, it blow with moral values. Like I say, Salon a country we a highly moral country. All of the virtues the way they expect, respectability, honesty, truthfulness, avoiding the use of invectives. Now, one way very common to the Sierra Leonean culture, to the Sierra Leonean psyche. But with the recent trend in social media, you see people way ordinarily you will get respect for. They sit down and listen to Mamikos. You go on for ask yourself, what it really they lead to that kind here? How we reach this level? So now that kind thing then they. But as a people, as a country, we get a lot for do. It's not impossible for us to stop this one. One thing we for do, now for take concrete and affirmative action. For speak up and for support law enforcement when they take action. Because not only for talk about them, hey, we know they're part of them, we don't support them. But when law enforcement go for this policy, we actually don't err in that direction, they let it face the music alone. Not use any grouping or some kind influence for say, hey, this are we own person and that kind of thing. The exemptions enough for day. No matter who done the person, no matter which class or category it belong. Wrong, like I say, now wrong, no matter who that do. So, not fertilize the spread of misinformation or the misuse of social media by way you they share information. Cross-check any information we can you way. And make sure say you talk to other people and not to people and no more we go tell you what you want for hearing. Because on taking day, people accept their mindset where they get information and they only talk to people them we go, support that thing the way they don't get and not to what they say. Lastly, for talk say, Salona a country governed by the rule of law. Now a country where respect rights and freedoms. But their rights and they also they go with corresponding responsibilities. The lawyer they will tell you say, he who comes to equity must come with clean hands. Or he who seeks equity must do equity because equity follows the law. If you say you want to do A, B, and C, now you right. The law say yes, now you right, but you also don't follow your own responsibilities. If you just want to go emphasize on that you right, say then you forget for follow due process, then you dey dirty your hands for one forget something where you think say now you right, and the law no go sit down idly by and allow that. Like we always say, speech where they follow the law, freedom of expression where they be expressed following due process, that one we protected by law. But doing things where they against the law not going to be protected by the law. So we want to emphasize this point that as a people, as a country, they will remain royal citizens. They will remain citizens in we not go allow bogus informants for come, confuse or play with we emotions, because a done in the end on they happen over the period. And for assure or reassure doubly the people of Sierra Leone that the security sector remain fully in charge, we pledge with commitment for provide the enabling environment, we say everybody they go about in normal business. Do what's right and the law will protect you. Forget what's wrong so that the law no will come after you. You will do wrong, now you the law will come after. You will do right, the law will protect you and protect you fully.